We felt threatened, we felt frustrated, and with a small team of Moorabool Environment Group workers, we've tried to do what we do and present an information engine to be able to inform you of what was going to be happening. We felt there was a considerable lack of consultation. We should have known long before we got that phone call that something was up. As it is, Mantle Mining have an exploration licence that has been granted. That entitles them, on the 38,000 hectares that they have their tenement over, to start exploring. And there are 15 drill hole sites in the Parwin Basin that covers Roseley and the Parwin area, up to Woolpack Road and along Parwin Extra Road. There are 15 drill hole sites that they're going to be drilling core samples from to test to see whether it's worthy to produce an open cut coal mine. They are saying that the area could hold 1 to 2 billion tonnes of brown coal to be excavated. 1 to 2 billion tonnes.
What about a mining licence on agricultural land? For completeness, there's also in the Act a provision in relation to a statement of economic significance. This is a statement that the miner needs to develop and present to the landowner, which assesses the benefits of the mining proposal against the benefits of the agricultural use. And that also goes to our Minister. And allows for our Minister to make an informed decision about potentially excising agricultural land. That's a process that's rarely used, but it's one of those bits of legislation that in some ways is useful even though it isn't used, because I suspect it's one of the reasons that people make a reasonably good effort in most cases to come to an agreement with landowners.
In terms of the information flow that might pass from one group to the other, is it going to be simply in the form of a letter drop or a literature drop, or will there be actual dialogue like tonight where there can be some meaningful exchange?
Well, I can't tell you precisely how the company will choose to meet its duty under the Act, but all of those options are available. We would certainly encourage Mantle to have whatever face-to-face contact they can. Now, they've chosen not to be here tonight. However, we have had some discussions with them, and we have heard some comment from them about other activities that they are doing or proposing. We don't as yet have anything in writing from them about that, but I'm sure we will. So, you know, our assessment, I suppose, at the moment is that they are complying with the requirements of the Act, but we continue to monitor.
We have individual positions. But when it comes to us, which will be shortly, we will make it all a position obvious to the community of where we stand. So any questions anyone wants to ask of this, we are limited in the answer we can give because, to be honest, we don't know very much more than the rest of the community. We saw the ad in the newspaper like the community sometime last year. After the objection period, Mantle Mining approached Council and gave a presentation on their intentions, but we had no input in any of those, as the Mantle DPI said.
We got wind of essentially the same company that applied for 3 exploration licences, Deans Marsh, Bacchus Marsh and out in the Latrobe Valley. Now, we got wind of it because a friend of a friend saw the listing on the stock market. We didn't hear about it through the local papers, and as you've heard, the process for notification is grossly inadequate. So we were just lucky, we heard about it. We organised a public meeting, much like this, in a hall much like this. Mantle Mining, the CEO of the company, did attend that meeting. And he was, I think, surprised by the level of, well, basically, I'm sure, similar feelings in this room. The level of resentment towards the idea that a mining company would come along and essentially be clear about it. Their plans are to strip mine the area, so it will be open cut. They aren't interested in coal seam gas. At the moment, you can't export brown coal because it's too wet, it's combustible, and so it doesn't travel. But they have a technology that they're looking at using to dry the coal and essentially export it. Coal seam gas isn't their primary interest. They came along to a meeting like this. The CEO, the level of objection was palpable in the meeting, and in that meeting, the CEO of Mantle Mining announced that he would ask his board to withdraw the application. I think there are two things that you need to focus on coming out of tonight's meeting. I think the first thing is to recognise that Mantle Mining has responded previously to community concerns, and I think the fact that there are a few hundred of you in this meeting tonight, and hopefully a few hundred more that you can call on when you get home, my advice to you is go home, write a letter, a handwritten letter, each and every one of you in this room, to Mantle Mining explaining your objections. It doesn't have to be long, but just give them a sense of the degree of opposition that exists in Bacchus Marsh, and let them know that you plan to fight this proposal for as long as you need to. Now, the second thing is political pressure. Now, we've got a state government who says it's okay to within a few k's of a wind farm, you can object to that. Certain towns have been essentially excluded from wind development. Well, why do we have a separate set of rules for brown coal? I mean, and we know that the health impacts of brown coal have been demonstrated as being much more significant. So I think you've got to understand now that what you're about to embark on, if you want to knock this proposal off, is a political campaign that focuses on a state government, recognising that while your lower house seats might not necessarily be marginal, the state upper house is very marginal, and let them know that you're going to express your views on this issue at the ballot box at the next election, and make sure whatever you do at the end of tonight, if you can do anything, it's write those letters when you get home, handwritten letters to the state government and to Mantle Mining. Thank you.
Having listened to people express their views at the Parliament Landcare meeting a couple of weeks ago about not getting the local papers delivered to their home, I did direct mail people affected by this application in the areas outside the township. So hopefully you would have received that late last week. And also put in the ads in the two local papers as well. And I agree with Richard. I think it is up to us, really, and I'm happy to assist in this way, continue that assistance, continue that support to the local community here, to make it clear that we don't want to have this new export industry developed here in Bacchus Marsh, and certainly what's been said before in Mantle Mining, looking at developing, if the exploration goes well for them, developing this exploration close to the school and close to the township, and then working their way further south. So I'm willing to assist, continue that assistance, and do whatever I can, because this is my community as well as everybody else's here.